partly there.
Yeah. I had to go out of town.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We have more chairs coming out. Sammy, if you can put the chairs out for me, that'd be good. We have more chairs coming out. But that's enough. That's enough. So we don't need any more than that. If you can put those two back even, I don't think we need more than that. We just need to spread them out a little bit. That's all. Okay? All right. So you guys are interested in foreclosures, huh?
Yes.
Then you're smart. Then you're smart, you know. Obviously, we never like to see people lose their houses. Okay, we never like to see people lose their houses. Okay? And so there are ways to save people's houses, but I think this is one of the most important skills you ever learn in this business, okay? I want to start by telling you my philosophy. What did we learn the last 8-9 weeks? What did we learn? Commercial real estate, right? Because at our company, and it's not because of just Berkshire Hathaway, it's just because of how I am. I have a firm belief that the more you know, the better well-rounded as an agent you are. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So unlike being part of most companies, to be honest with you, they want you to stay in one lane. That's why you see some people sell residential real estate for their whole entire lives. They don't know how to do anything else. They'll never in their life handle a commercial transaction. They'll never handle a land deal. They'll never handle a short sale. They'll never handle a foreclosure. They'll never go to the courthouse steps and handle a court auction, a trustee sale. They'll never do any of that in their whole entire lives. Does that make sense? But the problem is when the regular transaction isn't in abundance, then they die out. And that's the truth. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
When the regular transaction, the normal seller and the normal buyer, when there's not a lot of normal sellers and normal buyers, then all those people die out. The last time that there was a recession, 35% of the industry left real estate. The last time there was a recession, I lost less than 5% of my people. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You know why? Because my people know how to do a lot of stuff. You understand that?
Yeah.
My people always know how to do a lot of things. In a way it's good, in a way it's bad, because my people end up being my competitors at some point, because they know how to do all this stuff, But I don't mind that because I'm always training a whole new group of new, very, very knowledgeable agents. Does it make sense? Even from the last 9 weeks, you took my commercial training, you all got tested on it. Don't you know a whole world of difference in the commercial world now?
Yes.
Right? And obviously you're not experts yet. Obviously you're not experts yet. You don't become an expert until you actually start doing it.
At least you know.
But man, if you're in a round table talking to some very rich, sophisticated people, and they're talking about cap rates, I think you sort of know. Sort of know what they're talking about, right?
Right.
Yes.
You might not be an expert and be able to calculate cap rate right off the bat, but you sort of know.
You got an idea what's going on.
You know?
Yeah.
You sort of know, hey man, you have a client and they want to buy a big commercial building, you already know, hey, the next thing we do is we need to get an LOI off there. And I know that I have a broker that knows what he's doing. I can always call on Robert. And you don't just basically go, because, you're talking about that, whatever, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, whatever agent that don't know how to do commercial real estate, when the name commercial real estate pops up, they don't even see it. It's not even a potential deal for them. They just walk the other way and say, okay, well, that's not something I can help you with. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
See, with me, I can help you with that. Talk about a loan, I can help you with that. Talk about a foreclosure property, I can help you with that. Does it make sense? Because the more you can help someone at something, the more reason for them to refer people to you. You know, one of the greatest things I ever did in my life was to get my mortgage license. One of the greatest things I ever did in my life is I got my mortgage license. Now I have a big mortgage division, you know? But I didn't get my mortgage license because technically I wanted to do more mortgages, even though I did a lot. But I got my mortgage license because I already knew whenever my client needed my services, I was always there for them. But a client needs to sell their home or buy a home maybe once every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't need me every 10 years, it's easy for them to forget me. But if I know that you work for a company, if you know that you work for a company that does both loans and real estate, then I know that people are normally looking for money every couple years. You know, rates go down, people want to refinance. Rates go up, they want to lock their adjustable rates. You know, market goes good, they want to take money out, put money into backyard or pool. You know, market goes down, they need to take money out so they can make their payments, you know? So the thing is that people always need money. And so I knew that, hey, if we're a company that only provides real estate services, the national average is 82% of the time when someone needs a real estate service, they're always looking for someone new. They don't actually go back to you. You know that most of the time, if all you offer is a real estate service, most of the time you spend your whole career looking for new people to service. Because the people that you've serviced before, 80-something% of the time, they forgot. It's not because you didn't do a good service. It's just because it's been 10 years. They've had 5 new phones in 10 years. They've thrown away 4 phone lists in 10 years. In 10 years, they might have gotten a kid that got their real estate license too. I don't know. They might have met another realtor in the past 10 years that they've become friends with. So over 80-something% of the time, when someone's looking to buy a home or selling their home, they use a new person. It's not the old person, they use the new person. In 10 years, new technology is going to be in front of their nose. And then they're going to find new people to represent them. Does it make sense? Redfin, whoever, they're going to find a new way. So because of that, I said, look, I don't want my clients to wait 10 years before they need me again. So what do? I offer them all types of services. Why do people go to Costco so much? Because they have everything. Every time you need something, you just find your way back to Costco. Obviously, you go to Costco for your toilet paper and your napkins and your eggs and your milk and the things that you need every single week. But man, they're so smart. They come back to them for tires on your car. You come back for them for gas. You come back for them for food, lunch, a $10 large pizza. You come back to them for a $1.50 hot dog.
Right.
You come back to them to pick up your medicine. You go back there to pick up your photos. You go back for them for everything. Matter of fact, when you don't go back to them, you go on their website and pick up stuff. Man, I just booked $10,000 in travel on Costco Travel. So I could have a $100 free Costco card. You know, it's like, so I could go back to Costco to spend that Costco card. And when I go back to spend $100, I spend $1,000, okay? And so you guys understand that? So who do you want to be? Who do you want to be as an agent? You want to be Costco. Right? You want to be someone people could turn to for lots of things. Not someone people turn to for one thing. Especially when that one thing they only need every 10 years. They don't need to buy a new home every year, do they? So the thing is that our business is based around repeat referral business, repeat services. And so if people understand that you do real estate, but you're more, at Berkshire Hathaway, you're more than just real estate. You are residential real estate, but we're also as a company, residential loans. We're also refinances. We're also commercial shopping centers. We're also, gas stations. We're also commercial lending. We're all about residential. We're all about commercial. All about that. You have a business and you want to expand your business. We're all about getting you another lease for a bigger business or expanding your business to another location. So we want people to know that, right?
Yes.
Right? Yes?
Yes.
But then at the same time, we want you to know that if the market becomes bad, we want you to know that we know how to handle a short sale, that we know how to save your house. And maybe saving your house is that we do that refinance for you to get money out and help you save their house. Refinance, you get a better rate, okay? So you have lower payments, but if it has to get to that day where we have to go short, we can handle the short sale. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
We can handle the short sale. If it comes a day where your home gets foreclosed, I know how to deal with the banks to keep it from being foreclosed and giving us time to sell the house. Does it make sense? But if it gets to the point where it's a foreclosure, all right, then that's a whole new animal. And those are the animals we're going to talk about in the next 6 weeks, is that, we're going to have a class dedicated to short sale. Okay? We're going to have a class dedicated to the short sale. How you deal with loss mitigation, and so forth. And then we're going to have a day dedicated to government foreclosures. Okay? Today I'm going to start on that today. HUD homes. All right? We're going to have a day dedicated to bank REOs. Okay? The bank REO process, is not a slam dunk process, but if you do it, then you could be rich out of your mind. Because when banks start taking homes, when they give you listings, they trust you to do their listing, they don't give you one listing. They give you sometimes, dozens and dozens at a time.
Wow.
Oh man, I don't know if you guys know, but there are those foreclosure people, like Zaretha Thompson, Warren Adams, Randall Hom, those guys, right? Praveen Lal, where at any given time, I remember one of these agents, at any given time, he had 250 listings on the market.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about one, I'm talking about 250. Okay? One person with his team. Praveen at any given time at that point, he had like 40 or 50, But handling short sales, you actually need to get me involved and help you. I don't know if you know that when you handle short sales, you're going to have a lot of, foreclosures for the banks, you have to have a lot of money. And can anyone give me a reason why you have to have a lot of money?
Aren't you responsible for utilities and?
Well, they have that, but I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Buying.
Except the house.
No, because when you handle bank REOs, you're the one putting up the money for cash for keys and they reimburse you.
Oh.
You guys understand that? Here, there's some thoughts here. You guys understand that? See, people who get into that thing, you're a whole new world. Can you imagine? They give you 10, 15 listings, but then you have to try to negotiate getting the tenants out. Right? Or even the person that lost their house. When you lose your home, people don't leave quietly sometimes. Does it make sense?
Yeah, they sure don't.
The person that lost their home all of a sudden becomes a tenant. Right? When the home is actually sold and the bank takes possession of the home, most of the time, the person that loses their home don't clean that place up. They don't clean that place up.
Yes.
Okay? If they leave with some really sore goodbyes. Okay? And those goodbyes sometimes means holes in every single wall in the house.
That's true.
Okay? But sometimes they're still there. And they haven't had a chance to leave yet. Right? When you lose your home, and now you have no place to go, and obviously you have bad credit because you lose your home. That means you have a whole bunch of delinquency, right?
Yes.
So anywhere you go to try to rent, no one's going to rent to you if they pull your credit.
That's true.
So what happens?
Stay.
They have no place to go, and they stay. And for the bank to get someone out, number one, they're afraid this person's going to destroy this puppy.
Right.
Number two, getting someone out is a whole court process. Unlawful detainer, the whole court process. So a lot of times, the fastest, easiest way to get people out is to say, look, I'll give you $5,000 if you leave. I'm so sorry you lost your house. You know, I mean, nothing we can do about it. The bank had to do what they had to do, and then you're not the only person that the bank has to take back the house from. But you know, but we have a program called Cash for Keys, and after a while in the foreclosure market, people talk, and they actually already say, "What are you going to offer me for Cash for Keys?" And so the bank tells us, "Hey, we're going to offer $5,000." Then guess where money comes from? From you. You have to put up the money. Say, here's $5,000, and then the bank always gives you the money back.
But you gotta have it.
But you gotta wait 2-3 weeks to get it back from them. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
The bank's not just gonna cut you a check, you know, and you put in your account and then you pay it. You know what I'm saying? The bank just wants you to do it. The bank just says, okay, do it. So they give us 10 listings, we have to have enough money to do 10 cash for keys. So if it's $5,000 a piece times 10, that's $50,000.
It's a lot of money.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes I help you with it.
Oh,
I have the money.
okay.
Okay, and so we do it. Then I'll say, okay, well, let's see if it's, you know. And once you get it rolling, then I'll say, okay, well, then here I'll help fund it, you know.
That's good, too.
But so most brokers won't do that.
No.
But I don't mind, you know. It's just it has to be a legitimate situation. But the thing is that that's the things that you're gonna have to learn, right? And they assign you a territory. You have to meet certain standards of work, you know. They want reports back. So it's a whole system involved. And, you know, handling is a whole system. A lot of times, if you're getting 40, 50 listings a month, you have a whole team, you know, like 2 or 3 of you working on it. Because if you're not handling the cash for keys, you're handling the clean out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The clean out is you'll clean it out. And you gotta, unless the contractor's willing to bill, you gotta pay the contractors and submit receipts and get the money back. So handling foreclosure isn't like you can be broke. You know what I'm saying? But if you can get a good account, then I might step in and help you so we can maintain that account. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, but we have people who've been doing it. You know, like we have people that represent Fannie Mae. I mean, you get one of those accounts, and we'll have a whole class on that. If you're able to win one of those accounts, oh man. If you could win like a portion of the Wells Fargo account or the Bank of America account, and they own so much, because see, like for example, there might be 500-600 lenders out there, you know, 1,000 lenders out there, but there's only 100 servicers. There's a lot fewer servicers than there are lenders, and the people that give you the REOs aren't the lenders, they're the servicers. They're the ones that already bought the loan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're the ones already bought the loan. So we'll be training on that. Okay, we'll be training on that. All right. So that'd be one day of class. Okay. But when we do those classes, I have everyone sign an NDA. Okay, because the information I give you is for our company only, because we have actually like, you know, people that you could go to, you know what I'm saying? All right, that's that, okay? And then we have classes on the govies, you know, like how to do a VA foreclosure, how to do a HUD foreclosures, those are different. Then I'll do a class on the actual, the auction sales. Okay, I'll do a class on the auctions, okay? That's a really good class because what people don't realize is that, you know, it's funny, what the banks normally would get the properties for is what you could probably buy at an auction for. Yeah. So normally, the banks bid what is owed to the bank. And the public normally will bid above what is owed to the bank. Yeah, so as long as, most of the time, as long as you're willing to pay even $1,000 more than what's owed to the bank would just rather give it to you.
But do you have to pay cash?
Oh, there's a whole system for it.
So you find checks.
Oh, yeah, I mean, let's say if a home is worth $300, okay, and they're selling it off for $240, then you have to bring your first cashier's check for exactly $240. But then you bring increments of $1,000 checks
Okay.
up to sort of where you want to bid to,
Mhm.
right? So if you think, okay, this property is worth 200, 300, they're selling for 240, your first check is right at 240. But you say to yourself in your head, hey, I'll go up to 250. So bring 10 $1,000 cashier's checks and bid up to 250. You can't bid more than what you have in your hand.
You're right.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you win, you hand them over right there on the spot. Does it make sense? But there's a whole process to it to protect yourself. There's a whole process to it. If you don't know it, you'll be burned bad. Because I've seen people bid and buy properties not knowing the other existing liens on the property.
Oh.
I've seen someone buy a second not knowing that it was a second.
And you're responsible for first.
You understand that?
Mhm.
What happens when you buy a second?
Second position.
You got to pay the first.
Yes. Mhm.
And I've had people go thinking the second was a first.
Right.
So they bought the second and end up losing all their money because the first wasn't even worth it. Does that make sense? You guys understand that? You sort of know what I just said, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Or I've seen people buy a first not knowing there's like $40,000 smut lien on it.
Mhm.
Right? You don't think?
When you do auction, you don't know those things. You can't even inspect how. You just buy.
Oh.
Just to do
No?
You inspect the title, but you make sure the title is clean. If you're buying a first, you make sure nothing's in front of you.
Mhm.
Mechanics liens, tax liens. There's different types of liens. Utility liens. They're all in front of first.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you buy those, you have to take care of those. And you got to make sure you're the first. If this is really the second, then the first needs to be paid off. Does it make sense? So I mean, I remember one person, they went and they bought the second. And it's like, and then they went up back and sued their agent because the agent didn't know better.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Robert, can I tell you a story? This happened.
Go ahead.
This happened with me and my partner when I started real estate career. I was check property in downtown and county, but he did not tell me he's going to play the property.
To do what?
He did not tell me he will be playing the property, but I didn't know about this property.
Play what?
And I did not check this property because of what kind, amount. So he bought the property in the auction next to the court.
Yeah, that's where they are.
Yeah, and after he found it a second loan. So we was hiring a lawyer and the people was
But if you bought the first, then you don't have to deal with the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but he bought the second.
Okay, so he bought the
Yeah,
second,
and I
okay.
did not check this property.
Okay.
I didn't know he's going to play. So we hired a lawyer and a lawyer helped him to return the money. Plus the people who was living legal, they already paid for the first loan, but not for the second loan. They will start crying because it's still live there, so. And the lawyer helped him, return the money back. So that's the problem.
Okay, got it. But he got his money back at least?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, But that's basically, so when you're playing this game of foreclosures, you gotta know what you're doing, okay? Can't really mess up, because mess ups are big mess ups. But if you know how to do it, you get a lot of deals. Like if you know how to handle short sales, most agents don't know how to handle it. If you handle it, and you handle it right, during that market where it goes down a little bit, you get a lot of deals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you handle short sales, okay?
Rob, I didn't know that agents actually help the investors buy from the auction. I thought the investors they just use their own system. They didn't use agents.
Huh?
I said I didn't know that the investors use the agents to help them buy from the auctions.
Well, they don't have to use an agent,
They may,
but they use me.
Yeah.
No, because in an auction, there's no commission paid to the agent. There's as far as from the courthouse, people selling it. But normally, the client pays you your 3% for finding them that property. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you exercise a, here you go. You exercise a authorization right to acquire real property that's in your wooden zip forms with those people.
Okay.
So that's the time where you have those people sign that. You don't have normal buyers sign that form, but normal buyers normally you don't need to. As long as you have trust in each other, you don't need to sign the authorization and right to acquire, right? But when you're working with the investors and you're finding them, especially courthouse properties and off-market type deals, then you just execute the authorization and right to acquire real property. Okay?
Because sometimes when you buy property from auction, for example, I bought property from auction. It was with short sale for closing this period of time and then grow. And the auctioneer asked me to pay commission for them, and I paid $10,000.
To the auctioneer?
Yes.
Oh, but that's a different auction then.
It was not local auction, and from I forgot what it
Yeah, no, that's a different auction. Yeah, well, we'll talk about those too. When the markets when the market becomes a real bad market, then sometimes the asset managers turn to auction houses and they do big time auctions where you go to, and then at that time, then you have to the buyer pays the auctioneer's commission. You know what I'm saying? But that's all part of it. But they get the price they get the home for such a good price anyways that they don't care. You didn't care, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
I got very good price.
Yeah.
215,000. For 3,000.
Yeah. So you didn't care. Okay. So yeah, that's a different story. All right. So today we're gonna get started. Okay, we're gonna get started, and we're gonna start right with HUD homes. Okay. Because that's the one we've been doing. All right, we're going to get started right with HUD homes, okay? All right, come on in.
Robert, I was just thinking about, we can have preliminary title before we go to auction, but we can really inspect physically the house.
No, you can't physically inspect the house. There are people there.
Yeah.
How can you physically inspect the house?
No, foreclosure and auction.
Sometimes the people are still there.
Yeah.
No, you just got to drive by it and look
Yeah,
at it.
by foot.
I mean, if it's empty, you can try to look inside like that. Okay? But don't go there with their dogs. It's like, you're barking and then run. No.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what he said.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, there were a lot of topics to cover. Okay. The govies, the banks, the short sale, the auction properties. Okay. So I'm going to cover today. We're going to cover HUD homes. Okay. We're going to cover HUD homes. All right. So HUD homes is one of the first types of homes I ever sold. All right. With me, I've been sort of lucky. And I've always been one of those people that always wanted to expand my knowledge. And HUD homes is like the first type of real estate I did. HUDs and VAs were the first types of homes that I did. And soon, that became the banks and the courthouse steps, and I expanded it that way. And then when you're a broker with thousands of agents at one point in time, I run into all types of stuff because I have to look at everything. Ultimately, I have to approve what goes on in the company. So we're one of the few companies. There's not a lot that is approved to do HUD homes. Okay. All right. Now, how many HUD homes are you going to sell? Well, now, maybe you'll sell one every couple months. Okay? Back when I was doing it, I sold 4 or 5 every week. Okay? Because there are so many. Now, right now, when the market's great like it is right now, or has been great for the last 4 or 5 years, you're not going to sell a lot. But they're still there. You're just not going to sell a lot, okay? But when the market turns, then you start seeing a lot more, okay? When you guys start seeing a lot more, okay? So, and make sure you guys, unless you have a picture-perfect memory, and make sure you take notes, okay? for the HUD homes, one of the things that, right now for HUD homes, one of the things that you need to know is that they're not steals. They're not steals, but they're not bad. Okay? They're not steals, but they're not bad. And sometimes the government normally will put it on the market for a little bit lower than market, I think. But the good thing about some of these homes is you can also negotiate, okay? It's all part of a bidding process. It's all part of a bidding process, okay? But there's some very special things about HUD homes, and we'll get into all those little things in a little bit here. But how I used HUD homes, and this is something very, very important for you, okay, is that I used to be able to win a lot of clients with my 30-second pitch, okay, with my 30-second pitch. And this is a training session for you too. If you know how to do HUD homes or you know how to do government foreclosures, what I used to say to people is that, I'm a real estate broker, but one of the things that makes me stand out is that I'm a government foreclosure specialist. Okay? So even though I have access to MLS, even though, when working with clients, I can show you any home that's on the market, what makes me unique is I actually also work with the Department of Housing and Urban Development Affairs and Department of Veteran Affairs, and I can sell you the homes that are not on MLS, or not always on MLS, and I can sell you the homes that the government is selling at bidding. And so a lot of times I could get you deals that a lot of other agents cannot even touch. So even though I can sell you anything that's on the market, I could sell you more. And that's why you want to work with me. See, I'm not just a normal agent with Berkshire Hathaway. And back then I wasn't Berkshire. I was a global banker, or I was my own company. But I'm not just a normal agent. I'm a specialist. I'm a real estate specialist. And I specialize in foreclosure homes or government foreclosures. And not because, don't be scared of me because I'm going to take your home away. The homes that I sell are already owned by the government, already owned by the banks, already being sold at the courthouse steps. And so when I'm out there looking for properties for you, I don't look for properties just on MLS because 15,000 agents have access to that. I'm looking for properties for you that's being sold by the Housing and Urban Development. I say Housing and Urban Development because when I say that, people think I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? But I say HUD, it's such a short word. But I say Housing and Urban Development, you go, man, Department of Housing and Urban Development. Oh yeah, that's serious stuff right there. So it's like a psychological thing I used to do, right? And so when I say that, I say it confidently. Man, everyone wanted to work with me. They prefer all their friends to me. Oh, I have this guy. He's not a realtor. He's a government foreclosure specialist. He's an expert. He's a specialist. When you have brain surgery, you don't want to go to a doctor, a knee doctor. You want to go to a brain surgeon, neurologist. I don't want to be known as a realtor. I want to be known as a government foreclosure specialist. Does it make sense? Because there might be 15,000 realtors, but there was only one me. And so that's why I was so good, I always knew how to stand out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in training, what I'm teaching you now, like let me ask you, after taking my commercial certification and after taking our commercial training, now you can say, hey, I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, but I don't handle just only residential real estate. I handle commercial real estate as well. I'm a commercial expert. Even though you're not necessarily an expert, yeah, but I am. So we can work together here. You work with a team. So you see what I'm saying? Now you taken your 1 star and you added an extra couple stars in their book, right? Then now you're a government foreclosure specialist. You're a foreclosure specialist. Guess what? You become a higher level person, right? In people's eyes. But then you have to know how to say it. It's so funny, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have credentials, but you don't let the world know about it. After you've done taking this class, I want you to go out on YouTube, wherever, and say, hey guys, I could sell you, I'm a foreclosure specialist. I'm not here to take your home because everyone say foreclosure specialist. Oh man, you're gonna take my house? No, that's not what I do. I don't take people's houses. No realtor takes someone's house. The bank take your house if you don't pay them. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm here to help. Say after you take my short sale class, you say, hey, if you're ever in trouble, talk to me, because I'm a short sale specialist. I can help you get out of trouble. You know, I can help you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your home from being lost. Does that make sense? Okay. You know, so those are the skills you're gonna learn. Okay, those are the skills that you're gonna learn. Okay. So these are HUD homes. What I'm trying to teach you to say is, even though you know how to handle a HUD home, use the fact that you know how to handle a government foreclosure as another reason why someone wants to use you as their agent. Does it make sense?
Yes.
If you're able to say what I just said, you'll be able to win a lot more clients. Right? Because another agent's just an agent. But I'm not just an agent. I'm a foreclosure specialist as well as an agent. I'm both. So when I'm looking for properties for you, I'm not looking only on MLS. I'm looking at the courthouse. I'm looking at the VA. I'm looking at the HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, Veterans Administration. I'm looking for a great deal for you everywhere. Does that make sense? Matter of fact, learn to say something like this. When I talk to someone about who serves our community, like a police officer, doctor, a nurse, a teacher, you know, does this sound awesome if I'm able to say this? Hey, you know, I'm a government foreclosure specialist, and I work with the Housing and Urban Development, HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and I work with special programs for you, Mr. Peace Officer, Correctional Officer. I work with people like you because we have a program called Good Neighbor Next Door program and Peace Officer Next Door program, where I can help you buy a home from the government at 50% off the starting bid price. How would you like to buy a home that's already pretty reasonably priced for half of that price and for approximately half of the starting bid price? How would you like to do that? How would you like to be a peace officer, and if the home is a $300,000 home, I can get you that home for approximately half of that price? The only thing is you have to live in it for at least 5 years, and it's in an area that the government's determined has determined as an area they want to improve. See, that program is called the Good Neighbor Next Door program, and you have to be registered, you know, with the government to be able to offer that program. It's called Good Neighbor Next Door. Matter of fact, I'm not just making it up. See? Okay? Good Neighbor Next Door. This is the HUD Good Neighbor Next Door program.
Wow.
This is the Good Neighbor Next Door program from HUD. Now, I know that if you've taken my class, you've heard me talk about this before. But how many people knew about this program in this room?
No.
What, 3 of you? The rest of you don't know about this?
No.
Look, read this. Law enforcement officers, pre-kindergarten through 12th grade teachers, firefighters, emergency medical technicians can contribute to community revitalization while becoming homeowners through HUD's Good Neighbor Next Door sales program. HUD offers substantial incentives in the form of a discount of 50% from the list price of the home if you qualify to buy one of these homes. But in return, you have to live. Oh, now they changed it to 36 months. You just must commit to live there for 3 years. Long as you live there for 3 years, you can buy a home for up to 50% savings.
Amazing.
Isn't that a good program?
Yes.
You think officers, teachers, medical technicians, firefighters, these people, in order to be called a firefighter, you got to get a job.
Yeah.
In order to be a police officer, you got to have a job. So all these people, they work. And so, and if they're asking for teachers, they're not putting teachers in the slums, okay? It's not that bad communities.
No.
These aren't that bad of communities, okay? All right? These communities just need revitalization. You guys understand that?
Yeah.
So am I sharing with you information that's pretty outstanding information?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, isn't this kind of outstanding information? You think that'll help you gain business? Man, I saved myself a ticket because of this thing. I was young. I was driving in my sports car. Police pulled me over. I knew I was going to get a ticket. First thing I mentioned to him, do you know about the Officer Next Door program? Here's my card. I'm in real estate. You know about the Officer Next Door program? I can help you buy a home for 50% off. We spent 10 minutes talking right there on that side of a freeway about the program, and I told Homa about it. He let me go. He ended up buying a home from me, actually. Makes me just want to speed everywhere I go, just to get police officers to pull me over so I can talk to them about the program, But he ended up referring me. He ended up being a good client. We laughed about it. We ended up being friends, and he ended up referring me to half his department, because I helped him buy the home. I remember he pulled me over right off the freeway on Fruit Ridge, right off the freeway. I ended up helping him buy a home off Fruit Ridge. It's funny. He was a young officer. I said, "Do you know about the Officer Next Door program? I can help you buy a home for 50% off." Didn't get a ticket, got a client. It's funny. Got to think fast, And so the thing is that, but it's there right in front of your face. It's there right in front of your face, but you have to be a certified HUD agent to be able to offer this program. But you know what the crazy thing about it is that every one of you can be certified. Every one of you can be certified. You know how early you can be certified? Today.
Wow.
Today. You know why? Because I'm already certified. So as long as you're with my company, you're certified.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm already certified. I've been certified for like 30 years, 20-something years. I'm the one that trained a lot of these people. Like 20 years ago, I trained a lot of the agencies on this. So, because I've been doing these since it was actually HUD handling it. Now it's a different organization, but I've been doing these since HUD handled it, where we had to actually take a paper, and we went down and sat down at the HUD office, and people would just bid right there on the spot. Does it make sense? So I'm an OG when it comes to this stuff, okay? So I'm already certified, okay? But this is the Good Neighbor Next Door program. Okay, let's read about it a little bit. It says how the program works. Eligibility: single-family homes located in the revitalization areas are listed exclusively for sale through the Good Neighbor Next Door sales program. Okay, the properties are available in the program for 7 days, and then it goes to normal auction. So when they list one of these properties, Good Neighbor Next Door properties, then we have 7 days before anyone can buy it to get one of our clients to buy it. So these are normal homes that are going to come up on market. But we have 7 days before that to just rip it up. The only time there's competition, if there's 2 people that qualify for the program and both people want to buy it, then the 2 people are bidding against each other, not the rest of the world. Does it make sense? You guys understand that?
And it's just rigorous financing for the clients.
And it's easy financing. You know why it's easy? Because you're already buying it at 50% LTV. You guys understand that? It's already easy financing. You never have to worry about appraisal, okay? Okay, because they're taking a $300,000 property and selling for $150,000. So you think you're gonna have an appraisal problem?
But the
What?
Is that about the area? A lot of questions. Is that about the areas,
What about it?
about places?
They're not bad.
He just said it's not.
At the time to sell them, because we bought it 50%, so.
No, you sell it for the full price.
Oh.
It's your home. As long as you live there, because see what happens is the other half is forgiven after the 3rd year. Okay? So you, in a way, you sort of owe the government the money. But if you live there for 3 years, then that's forgiven.
Okay.
It's gone. Right? It's recorded as a second, but it's gone. So after it's gone, when you sell it, it's like let's say by in 3 years the home's worth 400. You only owe 150. So you made 250. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you bought it in the first place, it was easier for you to buy it because the LTV was so low. Okay?
And then they get a 1099 for the forgiven one?
What's that?
Do they get a 1099 for the forgiven?
No, that's the government you're talking about. Yeah, there are some gains there. But if you live there as your primary residence for that long, you have an exemption. You have a big, $500,000 exemption. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not worried about that too much. Does it make sense? You know, so it's a great deal all around. All around. It's crazy, okay? And it's not just officers that qualify. Teachers, see it says here, pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, firefighters, emergency medical technicians.
Emergency medical.
Yeah, ambulance drivers and stuff like that, okay? All right. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is there's not a lot of these homes right now. There used to be a lot, okay? But there's not a whole bunch. But if you have the program, isn't it a great opportunity for you to go to this group of people and try to get deals? You don't think they want to hear about that?
Sure.
You don't think that there might be a school principal somewhere that wouldn't mind having you talk to their staff at the elementary school?
Absolutely.
You don't think that there's a police captain or a fire captain that might want you to come in and give a little presentation for their firefighters on this program? You don't think that there's a group that you could talk to about this program? And if you do, and you sound pretty good at what you do, that they wouldn't mind using you as an agent? Does it make sense?
Yes.
You see? So knowing how to do, this type of real estate and knowing these programs gets people excited. Are you excited hearing about it?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, then the people that it's helping, they're super excited hearing about it. You see? They're super excited hearing about it. And that takes you above and beyond trying to win the business. You understand that? Okay? How to participate. Okay? You check the listings in your state, follow the instructions to submit your interest in purchasing a specific home. If more than one person submits an offer on a single home, then the selection will be made random, lottery. Oh, they're doing lottery style now. That means that you put an offer just for that half price, and then they pick a hat, see who wins, okay? You must meet the requirements for law enforcement officer, teacher, firefighter, emergency technician, okay? HUD requires they sign a second mortgage note for the discounted amount. No interest payments are required. So it's a silent second. A silent second is a second, but you don't have to do anything to it, okay? Provided that the 3-year occupancy requirement. After you provide that requirement, goes away, okay? The number of properties available is limited. List of available properties change weekly. To learn more, go here, okay? But we should be the experts on it, yes?
Can the buyer put contingencies and back out with inspections?
It's a normal sale. But it's a normal sale, unlike one you've ever done before in your life, okay? So, the HUD sale is a whole different animal, okay? And then I'm going to teach you how to do it today, all right? So it's a whole different animal, all right? So we're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. So I'm going to sit down, so you're not going to be able to see me, but you can hear me, okay? All right, so I'm going to show you how to get onto their site. Okay. If you go to any kind of search and you type in HUD Homes, the government site, okay, there's information for HUD Homes on their site, okay. on their site. That's not it. Okay, but if you go to HUD Home Store, this is the area for all the HUD homes. So the HUD Home Store is the area for all the HUD homes, okay? All the HUD homes. Okay. Now, in this site, see what time we have here. Okay. Okay, in this site, okay, you can look for all the properties that are available. So let's just start by fooling around a little bit and pulling up California here. Let's pull up Sacramento County. Sacramento County. Okay. And let's go ahead and search it. Okay, so for this week right here, you know, this property is for sale. Okay. It's in Greenhaven. Okay, it's in Greenhaven. All right. And like I said, you're not going to find a ton of them in Sacramento just yet. Okay. But it's good to sort of get to know the type of real estate now. Okay. So it's selling for $340,000. It's eligible for 203K. So I'll go through here. So this is, the property is at 7507 Desert Wind in Greenhaven. It's roughly a 1,200 square feet home. It's on a 4,500 square feet lot. Okay. I can click here. It has a garage, has a crawl space. Okay, so this home's been on the market for a while. Okay, so it's not a new home on the market. Whereas if I go back, this is the other property. There's a property here at 95832, all right, which is not too far away on Real Circle, and this is listed at $200,000. Okay, this is listed at $200,000. It's eligible for 203K. 203K is a government. It's an FHA type loan, but it's a government loan that allows you to borrow money for repairs as well as buying the home. Okay, so properties that are eligible for 203K, just because everyone is aware that when you buy a home with an FHA loan, normally the loan has to pass an FHA appraisal, and the home has to be in habitable condition. Does it make sense? Right? Yes? Yes. Okay. Well, some of these homes aren't habitable just yet, but they're priced really low. Like this one's priced at $200,000. It doesn't look like it's that bad of shape.
Right.
Well, where can you go and not in a neighborhood that's not so bad, buy a home for $200,000? You know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath right now. Does that make sense? You know, 1,300 square feet. It's not bad. 200,000. That's not a bad price, right?
Not at all.
You know, and if it goes past the exclusive period, you could buy it at a discount. You could offer $150 even, and they might take it. You see what I'm saying? But the good thing about these properties is that they're 203K eligible. 203K means that you get in with the low down payment. Because normally people who go are FHA qualified are people that don't have a lot of money to put down, right? That means that their credit score is a little bit low, so they don't qualify conventional. There's issues, you know, because see, FHA, the reason for FHA, so you get knowledgeable, is that FHA allows for a lower down payment. FHA allows for credit scores all the way down to 500. You know, 580 is 500 to 580 as long as you put 10% down, right? If you're over 580, then you could go 3.5% down, right? Good thing about FHA is that they allow your ratios to be higher, right? Allow ratios being higher means that you can make less money but still qualify for a home, right? Okay, so there's a lot of little perks. But the problem is that you have to buy homes that are in very good condition, right? And sometimes homes that are in very good condition, you're competing with other people that are conventional buyers. And the conventional buyers, the listing agents, you guys all know, you'd rather probably take a conventional deal than an FHA deal, right?
Yeah.
So these homes qualify for 203K, meaning that if they agree to sell you the home, then you could go with the 203K program. As long as you get the proper bids, they'll not only lend you the money to buy the home, they'll lend you the money to fix the home up too, with all of the same perks. Does that make sense? With all the, low down payment, the higher debt to income ratios allowed, lower credit score, but then you get a home that has money to fix up. So even though you're maybe not selling a lot of these programs, it's good for you to know. Because when you're able to say it, it makes you seem smart. See, your goal is to make all your clients think that you're very smart. Right? Because the smarter you sound, the more they'll refer their clients and friends and family to you, and then the more they'll stay with you, right? So that's why when I was doing real estate, I never had a problem keeping clients and getting more clients because I was always very smart about this kind of stuff, And so because of that, clients always wanted to work with me. You see? Okay? So as I'm talking, I want you to start gathering this knowledge, okay? So I'm just going in, okay? And when it says eligible bidder, you'll see homes that, you'll see homes that are officer next door eligible too. Let me see if there's any,
So all of these HD houses that qualify for 203K program, or just specific?
So there's pages and pages of these, but I just pulled, California in general. So, Tehama, Tuolumne, Lake County, I'll pull, like for example, in Los Angeles, there's a $790,000 home that's being sold, eligible for all bidders. There's homes here in Riverside. All bidders can bid on this. There's homes that are not all bidders. Okay. Oh, there's the Desert Wind in Sacramento. All bidders. There's homes that are, and I'm sort of randomly pulling up homes here just to see if there's anything different. All bidders. So hey, this home's not bad, right? See, this home's not bad. Look.
Nice.
See?
Very nice.
This is the home. The pool's covered. Okay. This home's in Kern County, Bakersfield. Okay, asking $340,000 for it. Not bad. 2,300 square feet. Okay. All right. And that's the home. Okay. But remember, you're not going to be selling the bulk of your property here. This is so that you become an expert in being able to do this. Okay. So now, how you would normally come in is that today or sometime, in order to learn how to use this and get access to the portal, you would register to become a bidder. Okay? Well, this is the website to do that. HUDHomestore.com. Okay. So in order, you are not the public. Okay? You guys are not the public. You're ready with our company here, Berkshire. So all of you can become a bidder. Okay? You can register to become a bidder. In this room, are anyone registered bidders with our company yet? Raise your hand if you're already a registered bidder. Duke, you are, right? You sold the HUD homes before, right? Yeah. And you have, Lavinia? You sold it with us, right? So there's two. Raise your hand. 2, 3. Are you registered with us as a bidder yet? Roberto?
No, with you, a previous company.
Okay. But you've done it before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here is where you can go and register as a bidder. Okay? Okay? We are the listing and selling broker. The role is you are an agent, associate broker, or the principal. I'm the principal. So do not click principal, okay? That's me. You're just a selling agent. Okay? This is how you register. Okay? Now, obviously, you're not going to register for more states than just one. You're just going to register for the state. Okay? So the first question they ask is they ask for a company NAID number. That's our official number, okay? So I'm going to give it to you right now.
So many things.
I know, every day. Can I show you how do you do the transition? Yeah, I mean, like, you can show that they're out there.
Good. Okay, so here's my number right here. I'll write it down on board. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to write it down here real quick, and then it's E L
Case sensitive?
T
Yeah.
N R 2310. Okay, ELTNR 2310.
Does it matter with capital or not?
Well, if you type one, it didn't work, to do the other way, but just capital, you know, yeah. All right. Okay, ELTNR 2310. Stands for Elite NorCal 2310. Okay. All right. Okay. So, hope you have that written down. Okay. So, you would put our NorCal number in here, your license number, okay, the date you're licensed, the state, the date your license expires, create a username and password, answer some security questions, okay, and your information, check it, make sure you're not a robot, and then you register, and then in a short period of time, you'll get a confirmation once they verify. It's a pretty fast process, okay? Right, so that's how you register as a bidder, okay? That's how you register as a bidder, okay? Okay, that's how you register as a bidder. All right, so now that we're in here, Duke, if you don't mind, can you log into your account? We want to just make a practice bid. You don't know your account number? Yeah, I don't bid, so I don't log in myself. That's why. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up here, or I'll actually pull you up a real file. Let's see. HUD contract. Actually, I found it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go through, and right now I'm going to go through and train you how the contract works a little bit. All right, and then we'll go over sort of how to submit an offer. Okay? Okay. So let's get to the point first. Where does everyone know how to find that site we're just on? Yes. HUDHomestore.com. Okay? And everyone sort of remembers that if you go to the top right-hand corner, you could register yourself as a bidder. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Once you've registered as a bidder and you get the confirmation, you'll be able to log into their site and bid on properties. Okay. Well, let's talk about that first before I go over the contract with you, okay? Number one, if you bid and you win, okay? Number one, when you ever bid, you have to send me a text and email that, hey, Robert, I've just bidded on a property. Okay? Number one, once you've submitted an offer, you have to text me and let me know that you've bidded on a property. No, when you bid. Because here's what happens. Even though you register your email address, sometimes they will email me that you've won. And they won't email you. And if I don't know you bid,
Yeah,
I have no clue. I have 300 agents.
right.
I'm not going to call all 300 and say, hey, did anyone bid on this property? Does it make sense? And so I don't know to forward you the acceptance. Does it make sense? Sometimes I get it. Okay? So if that's the case, like I'm the broker. So if that's the case, I need to know, hey, Robert, I bidded on this property. And if I, on that Monday, when the bids are received and you've won, they will send me a confirmation saying you won. Here's the thing with these bids. The moment your bid is won, you only have a certain amount of time, it's like 2 or 3 days, to get over all the paperwork to them. If all your paperwork is not in order and not to them within a certain period of time, they will take the next person. Understand that? When it used to be run down at the Golden Feather office down here, I mean, there have been times where I'm speeding through traffic trying to get there by a certain time. Because the rule is, so because the people, let's say 3 people bidded on it, they're waiting for you to miss that mark. You miss it by even a second, they'll take the next offer. Does that make sense?
Contract and the loan stuff ready?
No, the loan don't have to be ready, but the contract. There's contracts and addendums associated with it. Okay? Addendums are very easy. You just have to sign up. There's an addendum that says, I certify I'm going to be living in this property. Okay? There's an addendum saying, hey, I'm putting a $1,000 earnest money deposit. You know what I'm saying? So there's stuff that's really easy. But, man, when you win, you got to get your stuff in. So your client's all happy you won. And then all of a sudden, you missed the whatever deadline they give you, even by a minute, you lost. The next person gets it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're bidding, it's a bid. And a bid war, if you win the bid, then, man, get your stuff in. So if you fail to email me or text me and get me to reply back, okay, and I get confirmation that you won, I don't know who to get it to. So I'll send it to my staff, and we'll send out like a company email saying, hey, did anyone bid on this property? But to save us that time, you just let me know. So then I can just forward it to you. You know what I'm saying? If you won, that's it. Okay? Chances are they're gonna email you anyways. But if it happens to come to me, at least I know to look out for it. Make sense? Okay? What page? Oh no! I just put in what I'm in is the HUD's instructional. So I just put instructions for sales contract HUD. Okay. Yeah, just instructions for sales contract HUD, and then there's a PDF online to teach you how to do the sales contract. Okay. Even though we're gonna go over it, I'm gonna give you tips on it, but there is an online instructional tool that shows you how to do it. Okay. All right. Okay, so now once you put the bid on, okay, so typically they have a deadline for the bid, so you have to get the bid in before that deadline, okay? And then once that deadline is met, and then within a certain time frame, they'll let you know who won or not, okay? They'll let you know. The moment you know who won, you're gonna get an email saying, hey, congratulations, you won. These are the things that we need. That's what I'm gonna forward you, okay? The things that they need, none of it's on car forms. Okay? The sales contract is completely different. Every addendum, the contract, everything is something you've never seen before, okay? So you got to read it very carefully. It's very straightforward. There's a lot less paperwork in this than it is in a normal sale. But you still have, in the contract, you still have the time to go inspect. You know, just know that your clients aren't getting a TDS or transfer disclosure statement or anything like that. Like, you're not getting that, okay? All right, it's all different, okay? So the person, if you do win, then their TC is going to be Alejandra. She's trained to do the HUD homes, okay? She knows how to do the HUD homes. Now, I'm not sure, Daniel, if he knows it, then great, that's fine. I don't care who you use. But if you don't know how to do it, then at least on your first HUD home sale, you got to use, you know, a TC that knows what they're doing, okay? Because she knows the timelines and stuff, okay? So Alejandra knows, and she's handled plenty of these, okay? All right? Okay, so, and then, of course, if you win, you get your deposit over. Deposit has to be in the form of a cashier's check. It's normally $1,000 only, okay? And the process is started. Now, these deals, they give you a certain time frame to close, and they'll give you one 15-day extension. They don't give you multiple extensions. There's one 15-day extension, okay? If you go past that 15-day extension, they'll put it back in the market and you have to rebid for it. Hopefully you win a second time. You know what I'm saying? All right? Hopefully you win it again. But there's no continually extensions, okay? You don't get any of that. All right? So these you have to, if you win one, you have to be on the ball on it, okay? So let's go through the HUD contract. Now, if you become good at these, just so you know, those people who become good at these, you could actually get a contract with the government to list all their HUD homes.
Wow.
You could be on the other side of it, okay? So once you sort of get the understanding of how this process works, you could actually apply to become a listing agent for it too. Okay? And they don't discriminate. So they'll give you a fair opportunity. So you can actually become a listing agent for these. Now, right now, I don't think there's many listings for you to have, but in the future, I think there might be a lot. Okay? Does it make sense? Okay, so that's always an opportunity. Okay, so I'm in the sales contract right now. Okay, this is the instructions for the sales contract property disposition program. Okay. We're going to go, this is what the contract looks like. Okay, this is what the contract looks like. Okay. All right, this is what the contract looks like. Oh, no, I mean, the page is it's a one-page contract. Yeah, we have a 10-page contract. This is a one-page contract. Just don't get that one page messed up. That's all I ask, okay? It's only one page, you know. It's like, no, these contracts are simple. And the crazy thing about it is this is the same one page I did 25 years ago.
Wow. It hasn't changed.
Has not changed. Same one I did 25 years ago. Every time I look at it, I feel like I'm 20 years old all over again. You know what I'm saying? All right? Okay.
So simple.
It works. It worked, you know? It's the government. They have the same, some government agencies still have the same desk they had in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? It's the government, you know? If it's not broken, why fix it? It's the same contract. Okay, so I'm going to go through with you, and even though this is like, it seems like pretty elementary, I got to do this, okay? Number one, item one, name, purchaser's name, and complete property address. That's the first one. Okay, so I'm going to type it in. John Smith, and Mary Smith. Okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, Main Street, Sacramento, California, 95828. This is vesting. Okay, this is where you just type in, okay, how you want the person to be taken title as. John Smith and Mary Smith as what? What did you say? As, okay, husband and wife as what? As joint tenants? Tenants in common? Tenants in common? Joint tenants? Who say joint tenants? Okay. Who say tenancy in common? Community property. Man. Okay. Okay, because we're helping them choose vesting right here, which we don't normally do in our normal real estate contract, because we have to tell them what vesting we want right now. Okay? Here's the thing about vesting. And maybe I'm getting off topic, but I think it's very important for you to know because man, so many of you not been trained right, you know? I might as well train you on this because you get yourself in big trouble or okay. How many people in here own property? Raise your hand. How many people in here own property as joint tenants with somebody? Raise your hand. Most of you, right? A lot of you? Okay. How many people own property as joint tenants because you know why you own property as joint tenants? Huh? Okay, because you want the right of survivorship. Okay, so let me ask you something. Do marriages always work out?
No.
Okay. Do you guys realize that in a joint tenancy, that if a husband and wife are married, somehow they're separated, that let's say, for example, something happens to the wife and wife wants and husband ran off with someone else, and wife wants your kids to have, you know, the home or the property, or at least what you own of it, you can't do that, right? Even if you put a will, you can't give your house or that property. Matter of fact, you know, I've seen husband and wives, you know, not get along, and wife wants to leave her half to her kids so they have something. And when she passes away, because of right of survivorship, it goes directly to husband, and husband ends up giving it to his step and all his family, and kids are left with nothing. I've seen situations where brothers and partners buy property as joint tenants, and one person passes away, and they're brothers, and then, you know, and then on one side of the family, they're supposed to own this big property together. They own it as joint tenants, right? Man, one brother passed away, other brother gets it. He kept it for himself, left the whole family out. Left his wife, left all their kids with nothing. Went poor. Even they own a $50 million property. When one brother died, everything went to the other brother, and the other brother just kept it. Give family nothing. Family went poor. Even though, well, but they didn't. Not a lot of joint tenant. You know, you have the unity of time, title, interest, and possession, TTIP, right? So when you own property, joint tenant, you know that there's an advantage because of right of survivorship. So you don't have to go through probate and all that. But there's other vehicles you can do, like trust, that you can do that avoid that, right? But the huge problem is that when you own a joint tenant, you are guaranteeing that if something happened to you, it goes to the other person. Can't be willable. Joint tenancy can't be willable. Whereas husband and wife should take it as community property. That's why it's meant for. Because community property, if something happens and there's no will, it'll still go to the husband, or the property from the wife still go, you know, or husband goes to the wife. It doesn't matter. It still goes. But it gives you the flexibility that during the time you're alive, you can create a will. And your will can say, I want to give it to my kids. I'm not going to give it to my husband. I'm going to give it to my kids.
Will does not work. So
Huh?
instead of trust, will is not as effective as trust.
Will works. Will works.
So instead of
Why would a will not work?
no, will is not as ineffective as probate. It can go to probate. That's what I heard from lawyers.
Yeah, because if there's that's if there's a bad interpretation or badly written will, you know. But I mean, of course, if the will gives the property to 10 different people, then probate has to get involved and make sure it gets sold and distributed. You know. But what I'm trying to say is that normally husband and wife, I mean, if you would still want to keep the ability, the will, and so forth, and community property is what's meant to be. You definitely, brothers and sisters, should never buy joint tenant. Okay? Because if something happened to one person, it goes to the other person. And that other person, let's say for example, okay, I'll say for example, you buy the property with your brother. Okay? You trust your brother trusts you. Nothing wrong with that. But you and your brother's wife don't get along.
Usually the case.
Okay? You don't get along. That happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you own something big, $10 million property. And you just pass away. You get in a car accident, something happened. Or, right? Something happened. So your brother got the property. And your brother's weak. He listened to his wife. So the brother goes, I own the whole property, but in reality, I should give the half to their kids. She goes, no. We're going to keep it all. That make sense? We're going to keep it all. Right? Matter of fact, when it goes to him, she owns half of it anyway because now it's community property. You understand? The moment it hits his pocketbook, he goes, well, I'm gonna give the half. I'm gonna go, since it went to me, I'm gonna give the half back to my sister's family. You can't do that. We're husband and wife. The moment you got it, I own half of it.
Yeah.
I have to consent to you giving it away. I'm not gonna do that. You understand?
Yes.
The problem you start encountering? And that's and a lot of people go to title and don't understand that. Most people go buy a title, they don't understand how ownership works. So they just take title as joint tenant. Is that right?
Yes.
They blindly just take title as joint tenant.
Yes.
They say, as long as my name is on title, I'm happy. You're not happy if something happens and someone passes away. Then the law gets involved. And that's how legal works. You understand?
Yes.
You see? You've been in real estate this long, but no one's ever pointed it out to a lot of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Other people.
You see? A lot of people don't point that out. You're still doing it wrong. You know?
That's what I was advised from lawyers, like set up the base, my shares goes by kid.
That's fine. If you were a joint tenant, you wouldn't be able to do that. You know?
We already did it.
No, are you joint tenant?
Yeah, I think but let me.
Joint tenant's right of survivorship. How are you going to have a will when you don't own it
Not
anymore?
will, trust.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it's still entitled in joint tenancy, you have to be careful. You see? That's what I'm saying. Because if for all of you are licensed, I'm sure you've read about joint tenancy and right of survivorship, right? There's a reason for a right of survivorship. So like I said, brother and sister buy a property, joint tenant. If you're the sister and you pass away and brother gets it, and brother has a wife that isn't a good person, you're in trouble. Because your side of your family, even though you've put all your money into this, hard-earned money, you lost that money. Does it make sense? And I'm telling you, millions and millions of people in California own title wrong. So that's one of the things that with me, I'm educating you. That's another reason why when I was doing this business, I got all these clients because I would advise them and help them with all the things that other realtors don't even understand. You guys understand that?
We don't allow us to advise clients about that.
Huh?
We're not allowed.
No, but you could tell them, be smart about how you own title. Ask the title company. There's joint tenancy, there's community property, and no, but how can you not advise on that? That's real estate. We're licensed to do this. We don't make them choose, but tell them that, hey, in owning a property, this is how joint tenancy, community property, and you choose how you want to own title. And talk to the title company, but it's not blindly go put yourself as joint tenants. You know what I'm saying? No, brother and sister can't be community property. They're not married. Only husband and wife can be community property. Tenancy in common.
Tenancy in common.
See, brothers and sisters, Friends. Man, I've seen friends buy properties together, joint tenant. And one friend die, other friend get the property, one friend lost everything. All happens all the time.
Robert, let me share an example. I have
Okay.
a friend who was joint tenant with her sister. Her sister passed away. She couldn't sell the property without half of the property being probated because it was joint tenant.
So
Okay.
joint tenancy would work for or benefit married couple only.
No, joint tenants can benefit a married couple as long as they're okay with right of survivorship. Okay, if they're thinking at one point in time that maybe things won't work out, community property is better because you could will it. There's a lot of more things you could do. You had a question?
Yes, so the NI, the modification, ELT, it says it's not correct.
What?
It says it doesn't exist, that number you give us.
ELTNOR 2310.
Yeah, what is old?
ELTNR 2310.
I got the same thing.
You did?
Yeah, it says it
Vendor
doesn't
with this NAID does not exist.
Okay, let me ask Linda for it because maybe they just updated our account. We're bidding,
Is
so
it case sensitive? Because I put all caps.
let me ask Linda. Okay. Hey, someone back there, can you just ask Linda for me for the? Yeah, look, can you ask Linda for the updated NAID number? What's her NAID number? Okay, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll put in there John Smith and Marysville as community property. Okay. All right. So the first one, item number 3 here. Enter the bid amount an earnest money purchaser has deposited. Enter holder of earnest money deposit in accordance with seller's instructions. Okay. So this one right here is what you want to bid. It's a bidding. So if they're asking 300, normally if it's a hot market, people bid over. Okay?
310.
But you don't have to bid over. Okay? So let's say they're asking 300, sometimes, when I used to bid, and then let's say they're asking 300, I would maybe bid, 305, 001, The stupid thing is I always threw a $1 at least in there. I used to ask my clients, what's your lucky number? And they say, oh, my lucky number is a 7. I just, okay, so I'm going to bid for you $305,007. I've won at least a dozen in my career by an odd number like $1. Yeah. Okay? Because I'm experienced in this. I've done it for years. So when I used to work with my client, okay, yeah, Silviana. Oh, shoot. Yep. I forgot a letter. That's what I forgot. I'm dyslexic. Okay. I forgot a letter. Okay. That's why. Okay. I forgot. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it. I forgot one. I forgot a C.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, when you mentioned NorCal, I was wondering.
Yeah. Okay. Just said something. Oh, dyslexic. I saw it. Thank you, Silviana. Oh, so here. ELTNRC 2310. Elite NorCal. I forgot the C. ALTNRC 2310. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Silviana, and Duke for getting that information for me. Okay. All right. So when I used to bid, I used to put an odd number at the end of my bid, and at least a dozen times I won it, by like a dollar or two. One time I won it for one time I bid exactly $88,001. And our competitor bid 88,000 even,
Oh, wow.
and it won by $1, you know? People don't think about that, you know? Okay? Okay. And then, you know, normally I put a $1,000 earnest money deposit in there. Okay? All right?
Do you need to put exact deposit or you can little bit more?
I mean, you could put more, but normally it's $1,000. Let me see if they've changed it, okay? I mean, I'm teaching you guys on this, but my agents that actually bid on them, they're more current than I am, you know? D for HUD home sale. Yeah, see, it's $1,000 for homes more than 50 grand. The money is due to HUD the 48-hour deadline. So right now they're doing a 48-hour deadline, and it's 500 for anything less than 50,000, 1,000, anything more than 50,000. And actually, this is the same 26 years ago when I was doing it. It hasn't changed. Okay.
Did you mail a cash check to them, or just?
Normally we just take it. I just have my client take it to the title company. Okay. It's a cashier's check. I don't like to mail it. Okay, because it's a cashier's check, so we just take it there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Deposit to be held by title company. All right. Okay. So the next part right here is that we are checking if it's going to be an FHA loan or a cash purchase, or you're applying for conventional financing. So these homes, so you know, you don't have to go FHA financing. You could pay cash for it. You could go hard money. You could go conventional financing, or you go FHA. Okay, if you go FHA, then you would check the FHA box. Okay, you calculate the down payment, which is 3.5%. So if you're going to calculate it, I would take the 305.07. Okay, and I would take 3.5% of that amount. Okay, so I'm going to take the number 305.0007 times 0.035. Okay, so then, okay, so it's 10,675. You could leave the pennies out. Okay, all right, and then the difference would be the 305,007. Okay, right? 05007 minus the 10,675, and you're getting a 294,332 right here for 360 months. See how we're putting the terms of the loan on here? If you're going, and then the normal FHA loan is a 203B program. Okay, or you go in 203K, all right, or you go 203B with a repair escrow, but that's normally not the case. Okay, all right, okay, and then if not, then you just check on FHA, conventional, if you're going to conventional. Okay, okay, item number 5. Okay. Enter amount of finance and closing costs seller is expected to pay. So this fee, all right, you could ask for up to 3% of the price of the home towards closing costs. Okay? Now, here's the thing about this. These closing costs is the seller's portion of title and escrow fees, recording, you know, all that stuff, okay? So you understand, like normally in our box, on our purchase and sale agreement for real estate, there's buyer pay this, seller pay this, you know, seller pay escrow fee, transfer taxes. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, the government has those same fees. Okay? You know, I mean, they're still using a title company, right? There's still an CLTA policy. there's still recording that needs to be done, right? There's still a transfer tax, even though the government owns it. They still have to pay the county a transfer tax. Okay, so those fees, you can ask the seller to pay for. So basically, on these deals, they just look at all the fees in general, buyer and seller fees, and it's up to you to ask for a certain amount of money of those fees to be paid by the government. Because ultimately, the government just wants their net amount, right? So let's say, example, you ask for $1,000 in fees. In this deal, you can ask for up to 3%. So you can ask for up to $9,000. The government don't care if you ask for the full 3%, even if you don't use it all. If you don't use it all, you can't get it back. It's gone. Does that make sense? Okay, if you don't use it all, you're not going to get it back. It's not going to go back to client for credit for this and that. No. Okay? Okay? That's the amount you ask for them to pay up to. So let's say, example, the person that bid on this property bid the $305,000, right? And you bid $305. Let's say someone else bid $310. They beat you, right? But they asked for the full $9,000 in closing costs. You asked for $3,000, right? You asked for $3,000. They asked for the full $9,000. They're a rookie. They don't really know. Their broker said, or whether they looked online and instructions, you can ask for 3% for closing costs. So they asked for it all. Even though escrow, title, is not going to be $9,000. It's not going to be that much. But they asked for all $9,000. You asked for $3,000. You asked for $6,000 less than what they asked for. You'll win the bid by $1,000. You guys understand? Right? If your clients are short money, then of course you have to ask for money. If all they have is that 3.5% down, and they don't even have money for their own closing costs, meaning like their own appraisal and this and that, then you have no choice but to ask the full $9,000. You know what I'm saying? Because then they'll cover the government's fees and some of your closing costs too. You see what I'm saying? But if you're smart and you do a little homework, call your title rep or talk to your escrow officer you have a relationship with and say, hey, how much are the fees for this type of deal? They'll tell you for your client this and this will be like $4,600 for both sides. Then just ask $5,000, or ask $4,500. You see what I'm saying? Because ultimately, it all comes down to how much the government nets on the bidding. Nets. You guys understand that?
Has anybody write video?
Huh?
Zero.
Right, zero. What do you mean?
Yeah, has anybody write zero?
All the time. All the time. If people have some money to pay for the closing costs, then don't ask anything from the government. Right? Don't ask anything from the government. All the time. People put a zero all the time. Okay?
There's closing costs for the transaction, closing costs for the mortgage. Which one are we asking for?
Anything. It's just total closing costs. That make sense? The clients are allowed to ask up for 3%. If the client needs money to help pay their loan fees, then they ask for it. In this case, in this deal, you have $9,000 to ask for how much you want. It's just closing costs, non-recurring closing costs. Escrow fee, title fee, transfer fees, recording fee, points, appraisal, Those are all closing costs, okay? Buyer side, seller side, all grouped up into one group. You ask for money, you can ask for all, then they'll pay it. If you ask for a little bit, then you pay the rest. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You guys understand that? Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so in this case, I'll ask for $4,500. Okay? See, so I just asked for $4,500. Okay. Let me just verify here. HUD Homes Sales Agent Commission. Okay, 3%. Back when I used to do it, it used to be 5%. Yeah, back when I used to do it, it was 5%. I just wanted to verify 3. Here's where you ask up to 3%. So in this case, exactly 3% of 305.07. What's that number, guys?
6,000. I mean 10.
9,150.
9,000.
So you can ask 9,150. Okay? Okay? Okay, so
So do you type all this with the client next to you?
you can, you don't have to. Now, this is what I did, okay? Okay, this is what I did. This is what sometimes I did. If I thought that their bid was a little bit on the lower side, you know, sometimes I would just take the number. If I thought the number was a little bit on the lower side, sometimes I take the number, and I could do that. What did I just do? Yeah, so I mean, I think I've won probably 3 or 4 in my life, 5 in my life, where I actually won because I lowered the commission. Yeah. You know, back then I had 5% to work with, you know, so, you know, but again, what did you see me just do? You know, I could play around with it, right? If I want to help my client win, sometimes I just lower it by $1,000. What's that? They have to sign it. When you bid it, they don't sign anything. They don't have to be with you when you bid it, because there's no DocuSign or anything like that. So you submit the bid without their signature, okay? You're doing it. But then, when it's accepted, you have 48 hours to get all their signatures.
Right, okay.
Right? Because this is the only thing they're going to sign. They're signing other things, like an affidavit that they're going to be certifying that they're owner-occupying the property, that kind of stuff, right? Like if they certify the owner-occupying property, they buy it. Right when they buy it, they put it up at home on the market for rent, and the government finds out, they might terminate this deal, foreclose, you know what I'm saying? Okay? And we get in trouble because as a broker, we also initiate a broker certification saying, I hereby certify that this client's going to owner-occupy the property. So not only they get in trouble, we can get in trouble.
We get in trouble too.
Oh, we don't know, but if you're working with this investor client, right, and he continually buying these properties owner-occupied, because only all owner-occupants can buy some of these properties.
Right.
Some say owner-occupied only, eligible owner-occupied only. Some say good neighbor next door program, and then it goes owner-occupied only. But there's such a good property. If you're an investor, let's just say I'm owner-occupied, and then you go in there and you win it. But you know they're really not investors. They live in the Bay Area in a mansion. Why would they buy a $140,000 home here in Sacramento to move? You know, they work in the Bay Area. You see what I'm saying? Then we get in trouble. So do not get me in trouble for that, okay? I take your license, okay? I know everyone down at DRE, okay?
And last before, when you asked for the down payment, 3.5%, that was the, you mentioned, down payment.
Yeah, I'm not taking your license, but I'll make sure that, you know, you're not going to be in good shape, you know. If there's something,
Number for down payment, how much will be the down payment, regular down payment?
what's that?
How many percent is for down payment?
FHA is 3.5%. Okay, FHA 3.5%. Conventional 5% or more. Okay. All right.
Does buyer sell after a 2-year period?
Huh?
Can the buyer sell, the homeowner sell after the?
Oh, they can buy sell after 6 months. Okay. Yeah.
Without
Yeah. But there's all these rules and regulations involved when they could sell. They just have to check with their CPA on that. Okay. And then finally. Okay. And then over here, if the broker identified those, not the broad listing broker will receive their 3%. This is where you'd put the other agent's 3%. Okay? The 9,500, whatever it is. Okay? The other side of the company will get 3%.
You just, you'll lower yours so that the other one gets their 3%.
Robert, I don't understand what just you did, the last step. You have to enter the other brokers?
No. In this case, you don't have to enter
Just
that.
leave it blank?
Yeah, the computer program will auto-calculate that, okay? All right? Okay, and then, of course, you have to put owner, occupant, or investor. Okay? Close of escrow. Normally, on close of escrow, I always asked 45 days.
45 days.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 15 days.
Yeah, I normally ask for 45 days. Okay, regardless of the type of transaction.
But you
Okay.
can always close before the 45-day period.
What's that?
You can always close before
Yeah.
the 45-day period.
Yeah.
You only get this one extension.
Yeah, you only have one extension. That's why. Okay. So ask the full 45 days. Don't put 30. That's not going to matter to them. The net number matters to them. Okay. 203K, ask for 60. If it's 203K, always ask for 60.
If it's 2 or 3K.
But a normal deal, they'll allow up to 45 days. Okay. Number 10, I always mark may. It's just saying that if this offer is not accepted, they could keep your offer as the backup offer. So what that means is if your offer loses, but the people decide to change their mind or don't get their paperwork on time, then it'll go right to you if you're second place. Okay? If you mark may not, then they're just going to skip you altogether and go to the next person. So you always mark may. Okay? All right? Lead-based pen addendum is or is not. If it's built before 1978, then it is. If not, then it's not. Other addendums are always attached. So you put that in. Okay, are always attached. This is where you put your purchaser's name. And here's the thing: unlike our contract, we actually need to collect their social security number. So don't leave these things sitting around, okay? Well, if you have it, because it actually has their social security number in them, okay? But we do need to need to enter their social security number in there, their phone number, all right? You do not sign here where it says Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. You do not sign here, okay? Okay. All right, and this is just our company information, okay? Our SAM's number. Now, broker EIN number. Let me give that to you. I'm not going to put it on the board because I have to pull that thing up and down. So just write this down as I'm talking, okay? It's going to ask for our EIN number and the NAID number, the SAM's number. And I already gave you the NAID number, the Elite NorCal 2310. But our EIN number is 20-892-2310. Yeah, that's the EIN number, okay? Employer ID number, okay? Or tax ID number. You keep that number because if you ever sell a new home, they ask for that number, okay? Yeah, it's 20-892-2310. All right, and then you just put your information. Type name, a salesperson, but there's an area, signature of broker. You have to get my signature on the contract, not yours. That's mine, okay? So if you get the offer accepted, you have to go get my signature, okay?
So there's no agent signature?
No. There's an agent name and phone number right here, right underneath it. But you need to get my broker's signature, okay? Signature of the broker.
Lender can do that, huh?
Who?
Lender.
Yeah. They have my stamp. Yeah.
Linda.
Linda.
So it's not e-sign, which we have.
No. No, this is hand. All this is hand.
Bring it and let her do it.
Okay.
Excuse me, get your signature after we win the bid or before we win the bid?
No, after. Because when you submit, you submit online. There's no paper you fill. You don't even have to fill out this paperwork just yet. And if you win, then whatever you won with, you copy what you won with onto this, and you have your client sign and submit within 48 hours. Right? So you don't have to even do this contract prior to winning the bid. You just go bid. If you win it, you know that this is what you have to do.
Okay.
This is what the bid screen looks like, actually, okay? So you're just gonna bid it in, fill it in, and then once you win the bid, you take everything, all the information you won the bid with, and you just put it on paper, and then you submit it, okay? You guys got that?
Yeah. Could that, the system will allow you to make a copy so you can have it there or?
Yeah. You'll be able to do that, okay? All right, and then these are the conditions of sale. This just talks about certain things, okay? Just says things like if you cancel, you'll lose your deposit. You know, you have a certain amount of time to inspect the property, okay? And property sold as is. All right, so when you have a chance, if you do make an offer, after you make that offer, sit there and read the back of it, okay? I'm not gonna sit there and read it for you. I don't even have time right now. Okay? What? Oh no, it's right online. You just pull it right up. Okay? All right? Okay?
Right, you said we got 48 hours. If you win the bid, you got 48 hours.
Yeah.
Or you would take it to,
What's that?
we manually have to take it to the destination. It's not-
No. You can send it to him.
Okay.
You can email it to him. Okay, so let me see. This is
And then we have to scan it and then email it to them.
okay. So I'm going to show you. I have 6 minutes, so I have to do it fast. I don't want to keep you guys. So what do you think? You guys like all this information?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay.
This is registration, bidding registration. We need to have a be able to
So I'm seeing if I could get this here.
just bid. What if you got it? You have to live there 3 years. No, if you bought invest, you don't have to live there 3 years.
Right, if you're an investor.
Then you have to have paid our certificate tax. We can have a renter.
All right, so let me show you. This is one of the deals that we won. Okay, this is one of the deals we won a couple months ago. We win them. We win them quite often. All right, and so no, do not take a picture of this because this is like the client's personal information on there. They have their social security number. Do not erase that. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just showing you. Okay. So when you win, you get a cover sheet. Okay, and in the cover sheet, this one gave the client 60 days to close. So if you look at it, okay, this is the property you won in Stockton. Okay, This was the 203K. So guess what? 203K gave us 60 days to close.
They get money for the repair.
Right? And then they could borrow the money for repairs. You know?
When do they do the repairs? Within the closing period?
No. The repairs is lent to you, and then the money's held in escrow, and then you hire a contractor, and then the money's dispersed in escrow, from escrow.
What if you
After.
have the money and you don't want to use that?
Oh, you have to use it. Because you have to use the contractor that was approved. You can't just get that 203K money, not fix it, and keep the money for yourself.
No, if the buyer has the money to pay for the repairs without the extra loan.
You know, then don't do a 203K, just do a normal one.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you have an FHA, do they give you a certain time to make the repairs?
No, you do a 203B with an escrow account.
See,
Yeah, the 203B with escrow. Remember there was that area of 203B? And then there's escrow account. You can put money in the escrow and still go FHA, okay? Yeah, so if you have your own money to do it, just do 203B with an escrow account. All right.
Well, that house was built in 1937.
Yeah, so it's an older house. See our company. Here's the closing agent, North American Title. Okay, the listing agent was Daryl Isaacs. Okay, field manager is DGG RE Investments. I'm gonna go past the client's information. And then when they send it to you, look, see, they offered 170. They asked for 3,000 in closing cost. The commission to each broker was 5,100 per side. The net to HUD was 156,800. You guys see that?
Yeah.
This is the official contract that was printed out by them and signed by the government. Okay, you know, Mariella Allen with the Secretary of Urban Housing and Urban Development. Okay, this is me. Okay, so these are some of the addendums. Electronic filing addendum. You know, this is the addendum that says for your protection, get a home inspection. This is the addendum you sign that for 45 days for all financing other than 203K. You get 60 days for owner occupied. If you're paying cash or hard money, it's 30 days to close. If you can't close by the time, you lose your earnest money deposit. Okay, you're given one 15-day extension if you need. You see that? See, so all the things I'm telling you is you have one 15-day extension. All right, owner occupied. These are, if you cancel because of any reason, these are the reasons you could cancel. If not, you lose your money. This is their policy. See, so these are all the little addendums right here, okay? Closing date extension policy. If you do a closing date extension, you have to pay a daily extension fee, okay? All right, it's $25 a day. You can extend up to 15 days. Okay, so the extension is not free. It's $25 a day. Okay. Okay. These are your rights and responsibilities. Okay. You know, these are like disclosures like radon gas disclosure. Okay. These are closing certifications. What? Yeah, for certain reasons. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then, so you go through all this. So you see all the forms. They're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. See, this is the owner occupant certification where your clients are certified they're going to occupy. They're saying they're going to occupy for at least 12 months. All right. This is where I sign selling broker certification with my name on it, signing that I certify that the reason they're buying is to owner occupy the home. Okay. The lead-based paint disclosures. This is the receipt for the $1,000 deposit. Okay. Well, it's not as much as what we have, but it's not TDSs and transfer disclosure statement, water heater, smoke detector compliance. Does that make sense? But it's still. But you see, you get to see the whole file. Yes.
Is this different from a home bath?
Yeah, no, this is different. This is government. This is HUD homes. All right. So guys, we have good information every single week. I'll see you guys next week. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right. I forgot to put out a sign-in sheet. So next week, make sure you come so you can sign in for today too, okay? So if you don't come next week, then so you might be absent for today. Okay.